Hello, everyone, and welcome. Today, we are diving deep into a really important report all about the future of AI in Indian finance. This thing is packed with stuff you're going to want to know for your upcoming exams, so let's get right to it. So, here's our game plan. We're going to start with the big picture, this thing called the global AI supercycle. Then, we'll zoom right into India's unique spot and the challenges we've got to tackle. After that, we'll see how AI could actually change finance for everyday people in India. And we'll wrap it all up with the key takeaways you'll definitely want to remember. All right, let's jump in. So what's the deal with this global AI supercycle that everyone's talking about? Well, the scale of this change is, honestly, it's pretty mind-boggling. Let's start with a number that'll make your jaw drop. Over $1.3 trillion. That's trillion with a T. That's how much money corporations have pumped into AI globally in just the last 5 years. Now, to put that in perspective, that's 4 times the funding for the entire global fintech sector. This isn't just a trend, you guys. It's a fundamental tectonic shift in where the money is flowing. And it's not just about the cash. It's about the sheer speed of it all. ChatGPT got to 100 million users in just 61 days. I mean, think about that for a second. The internet took years to get that kind of traction. Even modern apps like Instagram or Netflix took way longer. This tells you that AI is hitting the mainstream at a speed we've literally never seen before. So this brings us to a key term you absolutely need for your exams, the AI supercycle. This isn't just another buzzword. We're talking about a foundational shift in our economy and our society, one that could have a bigger impact than the industrial or digital revolutions. It's a really big deal, so make sure you've got this concept down. So, you've got this massive global AI wave crashing down. The big question is, where does India fit into all this? And this is where things get really interesting for us. We're looking at a unique, once-in-a-generation opportunity. So how do we make sure we ride this wave and don't get swept away by it? India's position is special, and you can think about it in 3 parts. We're a consumer, a playground, and a lab. First, as a consumer, we are the biggest market on the planet for adopting this stuff. Second, as a playground, our huge, diverse population is the perfect place to test new AI ideas at a massive scale. And third, as a lab, we've already proven we can build and export tech solutions to the world. This trifecta, it gives us a really powerful edge. But, and this is a big but, we have a major hurdle. It's called the 220 conundrum. Get this. India creates a massive 20% of all the data in the world, but we only have 2% of the world's data centers to actually store and process it. Now, this isn't just a challenge. It's a huge opportunity for infrastructure investment. It's about data sovereignty. Being able to handle our own data is absolutely critical for our future. So how is India going to tackle this? Well, there's a whole strategy, and it covers what's called the AI stack. To help you remember the 6 critical parts for your exam, here's a super simple mnemonic. IND developers make cool tech apps. That stands for infrastructure, data, models, capital, talent, and applications. Lock that phrase in, and you've basically got India's whole game plan. Now, this chart right here, it points to a pretty serious gap we need to fix. While the big global tech companies are investing around 5% of their revenue back into R&D, Indian companies, well, we're currently at just 1%. If India wants to go from just using AI to actually creating the next wave of AI tech, closing this gap is absolutely non-negotiable. Okay, so we've talked about the high-level strategy. Let's bring it all down to earth. How is this AI stuff actually going to help regular people in India? The report uses 2 really great examples, Savita and Raju, to show us just what's possible. So let's meet Savita, she's a tailor, and Raju, who owns a small kirana shop. Their struggles, well, they're the same struggles faced by millions of people all across India, right? Savita is worried about huge healthcare bills, her daughter's school fees, and getting tricked by financial scams. And Raju, he's dealing with cash flow problems, trying to get a loan, and figuring out complicated taxes. Now, imagine an app. Let's call it Janarth AI. For Savita, it's like having a financial expert right on her simple smartphone. It looks at her UPI payments, sees she's paying for dialysis, and boom, it suggests she enroll in the Ayushman Bharat health scheme. It also protects her from scams in real time and even helps find scholarships for her daughter. This is AI delivering super personalized, affordable financial help at scale. And for Raju, the shop owner, picture an app called VyaparSathi.ai. Think of it like a virtual chief financial officer for his small business. It handles his bookkeeping, tracks his spending, and even helps file his taxes. But the real game changer? It uses new digital public infrastructure, like the Unified Lending Interface, or ULI, to find him pre-approved loans, solving that credit problem he's always had. This is AI truly empowering small businesses. Now, for all this incredible promise, it's not going to be an easy road. A survey of top execs shows what the biggest roadblocks are. And look at this. Tied for first place at 57% each are the talent and skill gap and data and infrastructure readiness. This brings us right back to why solving that 2 to 20 conundrum and upskilling our people is just so important. All right, we have covered a ton of ground. So now let's boil it all down to the absolute must-knows. This is your rapid-fire revision, the key points you'll want to have ready to go. Okay, let's hit the numbers you need to memorize. First, that massive $1.3 trillion global investment. Then, the 220 conundrum. That's the 2% versus 20% gap. Remember the potential to unlock over 10 lakh crore rupees in capital right here in India. The projected revenue of $100 to $120 billion for our AI industry. And finally, that 57% figure, that tells you the top two challenges are talent and data readiness. Next up, the core concepts. You've got to know AI supercycle and India's trifecta. You need to understand digital public infrastructure, or DPI. That's the backbone of everything, like UPI and Aadhaar. A key part of that is the Unified Lending Interface, ULI, which is all about credit. And finally, get familiar with federated learning. It's a really clever, privacy-first way for AI to learn from data without actually seeing anyone's private info. Super important for stuff like fraud detection. And finally, the recommendations. What does India need to do? Number 1, solve the 2020 conundrum. Number 2, build AI models that are purpose-built for India's unique needs. 3, boost the M&A scene to get more money to startups. 4, turn India into a global AI brain by developing our talent. And last but definitely not least, we have to increase that R&D spending from 1% to get closer to that 5% global average. And as we wrap up, I think this quote from Chris Gopalakrishnan just says it all, doesn't it? It's a fantastic reminder that the real win here isn't just about how fast we can adopt AI. It's about using it to create real, positive change for everyone and making sure we do it responsibly. So that leaves us with one final question to think about. As India builds this incredible AI stack, with all the tech, all the data, all the money, what's the one truly human skill that's going to be the most important to make sure this technology actually empowers every single person? Is it empathy, critical thinking, maybe ethical judgment? Something to really chew on as you continue your prep. Thanks for joining me, and all the very best.